Hi, this is Everett, Everett's Watercolors. Welcome to my classroom. Now this is the third part of the masking mini-series, and this is going to cover the masking fluid, which is the incredible white mask and the mask pen. I'm going to pick up where I left off last time. I'm going to take the little painting exercise I started with the frisket film. I'm going to add the masking fluid to it. I'm going to do a few little tips on the little painting, and then demonstrate that. So let's go to my painting table and I'll show you the supplies and let's get started. Okay, this little painting exercise I had on the frisket film is what I'm going to use today. Here's the supplies I'm going to use on the masking fluid demonstration. The incredible white mask, the mask pen, which has the masking fluid, an old brush that I can use for masking. I call it my masking brush. Dish with ivory soap in it, and then the rubber cement pickup. Those are the tools you need to use the masking fluid. I'm going to use a tub of water here. Now, when you use masking, you want to have one tub of water, and that's all you use it for, because you don't want to mix in paints with any kind of water. So I coat the brush with soap, and then I pick up the white mask. Now I go in and pick it up. Now in this case, I want to save some of these whites, so I'm going to draw. Actually, I'm drawing with the masking fluid. And up around the top, what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to put a little bit at the top here as a highlights on these tops of these, because I'm going to paint down on top of this with the sky color, but I can save some of the highlights. And then you rinse out your brush. We get that masking fluid off there now. Take a tissue, and I can put some more soap back on there, and then make sure I clean the brush out. Now over here on this tree, this tree group over here on the left, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now I'm going to take this mask pen now, take off the top. Now I'm going to add some smaller branches here. And this is the advantage of the mask pen, is I can use this to put in detail. Now notice in my design here, I'm putting less branches over here and more foliage. Over here I'm putting more branches with less foliage. So that's another concept of design, is to make a variety. Now what I'm doing now is putting this top back into, there's a little opening there as you put it back on. When I store this, I store it on the side. I think the fluid stays a little better when you leave it on the side. I'll let the masking fluid dry, and then I'll go back and I'll put the paint and other things on top. I'm going to take the masking pen off again. You might not have seen that. You can see the fluid come out of it. Okay, the masking fluid is dry. And how do you know it's dry? Well, the colors will change when the masking fluid, the incredible white mask, when it dries, it actually is, it dries clear. So you won't be able to see you'll be able to see the color of the paint, underneath, which is sometimes to an advantage. So it dries clear. The Masquepen, you can see here, it dries a little bit duller. It started out with a light color. Now it gets a little bit darker as it's dry. So they're both dry enough now to put paint on top. So I'm going to go ahead and just, remember, this is a demonstration painting. So I'm just going to do little parts here to show the effect of the masking and other techniques. What I'm going to do now is mix up a little bit of sky color, a little bit of cobalt blue, just like I did on this on the left side. Now as I go around, as I come closer to the tree line, remember I had a little masking over here too. That'll protect some of those edges there. But as I go down over the trees, this darker color is going to give me some shadow patterns. Now for demonstration purposes, this will give you an idea of some of the things you can do with the masking fluid. I'm going to go ahead and work on the other side over here. Now over here, I'm going to do a little duller color. Now on this one, I'm going to leave some of the whites on top of this as highlights. So this is another way of looking at it. I can always go back and add more color later. And I can leave some of the white paper as highlights up here on the top of these trees. I'm darkening this area up so those white branches will really pop out. Oh, wait now, bring that color over here to kind of unify the paint, unify the scene a little bit with the same colors. And I could take a little bit of yellow ochre and kind of go across the bottom, little dry brush, show maybe some grass. The masking fluid is still along the top up here and on the branches over here. And I've got all this masking over here, so I have to let this dry now. Okay, let's check the painting now. So now let's take the masking fluid off. Take the rubber cement pickup. And let's go over here to this section. The way you test, you run your finger over it. If you feel a little stretch there, then you know you still got some masking fluid down there. Now that removes the masking fluid. You can see the light areas, and also on the treetops, I got some of those highlights there that I saved with the masking fluid. Now over here on the left, just as a demonstration, I use the Masquepen. So that's the removal of the masking fluid and the Masquepen once it has dried. You see, leave lots of white paper showing. Now the next step would be to go in with a paintbrush or whatever technique you're going to use and then fill in some detail. Now you mix up a little bit of ultramarine blue up here, mixed in with a little bit of burnt sienna, give me a darker brown. Before I do that, maybe I'll put a little color on the whites just to give a little bit of color, maybe just a little bit, maybe just a highlight over here. Maybe that's where the sun's hitting the trunks or the branches. Now, one thing I thought I would show you quickly here is up here along the edges. I'm changing to the round. I'm going into a rigger brush. A rigger brush is a long hair brush, which has very fine. There's a very fine point to it. It's called a rigger brush. Well, you could continue on with something like that and add more and more detail. This little exercise will show you how to put masking fluid down. You have to make sure you have a separate bucket of water to clean the brushes and so forth. And I use the soap to cover the brushes so to protect the bristles. And use an old brush, something that you don't mind if it gets messed up a little bit with the masking fluid, because it will ruin brushes if you leave it on too long. That concludes that demonstration. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay abreast of my next videos, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.